Hello, everyone. Welcome to round 23, the second to last Grand Prix on the Season 8 calendar. And we're back in Qatar for the fourth and final time after 100% gold and silver. And then bronze is turned slightly before we go to Abu Dhabi tomorrow then for the final race of 100%. And then it is the final races in gold, silver, and bronze of what has turned out to be an incredible season, 11th season of ALR Grand Prix racing, where we have crowned one of the most dominant champions in the history of silver in the form of Ultimate Beast. Very much following the footsteps of Ultimate Beast. Well, he is Ultimate Beast. Following the footsteps of Glock, the first ever silver champion, and of course, it's been written into the history books along with Brabbit, with Gurman, with Troye, just to name a few from silver. Of course, gold. Then only the third time in the history of gold have we crowned a double world champion in the form of Sam Swift Ninja, then, which also follows in the footsteps of Granty Boy from Season 2 and Season 3, and Emerson from Season 4 and Season 5. So a lot of history has been written this season, and potentially history could be written here tonight, then, where we hopefully, or hopefully not, depending on your side of the fence, crown the 8th champion of bronze. And, well, I do not know, to be honest. Personally, of course, from a neutral point of view, I want this to go down to the wire because I love a championship showdown. We haven't had many in the history of ALR, I don't think. Have we ever had any in bronze? I'm sure that. The closest we come wasn't it season 3 where I was, believe it or not, I was racing that season. Where of course it was. Whereas Delando, who of course won it in Brazil with 1 round to spare, I think. I don't think we've ever had a bronze showdown, have we? Potentially, of course, it was the other one I remember quite vividly is the Dynamo Dan and of course Jenner showdown back in China a few seasons ago in season 5. And also, by the way, it is happy 69th. Nice Grand Prix start tonight for Dynamo Dan. So cool stuff indeed. Then, but yes, indeed. Then Lego Bronze and no pound side gets a kiss from Nosey. Well, if that offer was out this time last week, I would have got no penalties at all, which meant that I would not have got my 48 penalties, which also meant I would have got a point as well. But hopefully that offer was technically still it should be open from until the end of the season. And so I'm going to try very hard not to get any penalties tomorrow night. Then I think the 2 drivers already got penalties. Talking of which, which is I think Slayer and Kian for being late, unfortunately. So that's not ideal, is it? For those 2 drivers then. Andy from Warwick Road then says, "Go bronze." I'm hoping for no penalties. A laugh my rear off, says Mark. Says Jenna. And evening and good luck all as well. Whilst it's quiet on the track, I did start this stream early to try and go through the drivers and standings, but that's gone completely out the window. Never mind. By the way, Kiwi YT has left the session. Sadly, I'm not even sure if they've got a card. To be fair, so they might have come in either too late or may not even be on the guest list. Then, if you're not on the guest list, unfortunately, we're going to turn you away. No, they are in. They're in the Red Bull. Goodness me, that's not ideal at all, is it? And we had an update and we had a lot of gremlins last night as well. And Jenna was one of the unfortunate drivers that couldn't get back in the session, sadly, which is not ideal. But happy debut tonight then for Kiwi, and also happy debut as well for Meep as well, which I love that name. Fantastic stuff indeed. Oh goodness me, Jenna's already coming on. So okay, drivers and constructors. Marski leads by a slender 5 points. Then, if Marski wins tonight, then the championship is done. That is it in a nutshell. We'll keep you up to date as we go through tonight's action. But Marski 5 points in front of Kian. So Kian basically cannot slip anything above 27 points behind the championship leader tonight. Otherwise, Marski will become the bronze champion. Dan has got a mathematical chance still, but he needs to win, basically, in a nutshell. He needs to win. And for his rivals, Kian and Marski, basically to score little to 0 points then. So sadly for Dan, who has been so good this season, remember this is his debut in bronze, wasn't it? And absolutely fantastic stuff indeed there. But sadly for Dan, it's kind of fallen by the wayside. Smith, you're mighty, 4th position in the championship again, which I am sure that's the 2nd season in a row now that Smith Your Mighty has been 4th in the championship. Also, his 2nd season, he's won the Constructor Championship. Well, happy 70th as well to Smith Your Mighty. Serious Mushroom on 165 points for the Mushroom there. Jinner on 134, which I was expecting Jinner to be a major player in the championship this season. And to be honest, he has, hasn't he? But Jinner has fallen a bit short in terms of Grand Prix. But in terms of pole positions and things like that, he has been absolutely in a league of one. Sickest Muck in 7th position there. 8th position is Luke there, who's having a really good late season there for the Aston Martin. And Luke is very much building up for next season. Torres retired from the session there. Then we've got Anthony in 9th position there. Of course, full season next season for Anthony. Looking forward to see what the second Aston Martin driver can do. But both Aston Martin drivers looking quite strong. Here is the championship leader, Marski. All eyes are on him. Craig are in 10th position as well. In the Constructors, Ferrari, of course, has won the Constructors now for bronze. Good stuff indeed. With RB in RB second, and they should be able to claim 2nd position tonight then if they outscore Alpine by, I think it's just a few points. Marski's invalidated his time. That's not a good start then for Marski. Just on board with Anthony now. Have we got sound, have we? Have I just, I've lost my remote control. Where's that gone? Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, it's under my rear. My bad. But good stuff. And then we've got the Haas team in fourth position at the moment. Then we have Aston Martin in fifth. Aston Martin only 20 points behind the Haas team, so they potentially could get up to fourth. Fantastic. Williams are in sixth position. They're 14 points away from the Aston Martin team. It's so close on fourth, fifth, and sixth. Fantastic. 48 points back is the Kick Sauber. Only one Kick Sauber being represented tonight. Eighth position is Red Bull on 87 points, 61 for McLaren, and then 15 points back is the Mercedes team. Real Ashton has got fastest so far in this qualified session. I forgot to take my jumper off again. His Jenner's gone faster still. Just watching Antti at the moment. Then to be honest, I should have been watching the Real Ashton and Jenner version, not really, but shame on me. Shame on me. Talking of shame on me, I'm ALR, and I am going to issue a heartfelt apology for my actions last night. Absolutely disgusting behaviour indeed. I hang my head in shame. It is pretty revolting what I did last night in the stream. I apologise profusely. That was the fact is that I voted for Farf as driver of the day, and I'm going to be honest, I feel dirty about it. Here comes Dynamo Dan, starting his 69th Grand Prix start tonight. Coming across the line, Dynamo Dan, of course, right around back in season 5. Good luck, lads, from Slayer. No practice, mad day, glad to be in. That says Slayer. I'm sure that Slayer, I just read that Slayer was doing, was he doing some housework or something? I only quickly read the comment section there, which is why Slayer was late. Brennan there, who is currently in the Red Bull team. Of course, Brennan, who's a reserve driver, I believe, according to my list here. So no points for Brennan in terms of constructors. He does get to score drivers, of course. Evening to me. Evening Ginger says Serious Mushroom as well. Good evening to you, teammate, and hopefully Serious Mushroom has got me set up ready for tomorrow, as McLaren are aiming for a 1-2, as we want fourth in that constructors, because there's a lot of money involved. I don't think the drivers get paid the money though, sadly, as Real Ashton get wheeled back into the garage then on a 23-3 so far. One of my drivers of the season. To be honest, the votes are out for the awards, of course, which I'm not sure. Do they close tomorrow or do they close? Well, not tomorrow. They've been out for a week now. I love that helmet, by the way, from Jenna. I think that's Oscar Piastri's Brazilian helmet there. It's just trying to get some tyre temp here in Qatar, which this time last year, I don't think they had that problem, did they, really? Because, of course, it was so hot around here. Of course, what a difference a few weeks makes in Qatar. It's gone from hot to... well, not so hot now. We're just watching Jenna, just preparing it to let it go. Then Rocket Lee in the Mercedes, and Rocket Lee's been in the Mercedes for the past 3 races, aren't they? Rocket Lee has. I'm looking forward to seeing what Rocket Lee can do next season as well, and hopefully we'll see Rocket Lee in a full-time seat. But of course, that is all down to the head steward of the bronze championship, which of course is Farving. And of course Farv's not in a very good mood by the looks of things. They're dishing penalties out already. But apparently Farv didn't get any penalties at all last night, which I must say absolutely astounds me. So obviously the game was glitched, because I don't believe that for a second. Jenna coming into the final couple of corners. There's Kiwi making their debut as well. Good stuff indeed. Got 2 debuts on tonight there. Meep on 23.5 on the medium tyres. Good stuff indeed. Jenna, who's set his first time on the medium tyres. Standard Jenna thing to do. Now going out on the soft compound tyres. Kian then, if he wins tonight, will take the lead in the Drivers' Championship with 1 race to go in Abu Dhabi in a week's time. I cannot wait. However, I've got to be neutral, but obviously I've already said there, from a neutral point of view, I love the championship to go down to the wire. A lot of you Marski fans and RB fans would love the championship to be won here tonight there, which I must say has been a long time coming for Marski, because he's been pretty supreme, hasn't he, over the years in Grand Prix racing. However, though, having a Kian in his very short time with ALR has been absolutely supreme as well. And Dan started off the season so well, but sadly, it's just fallen by the wayside in the last couple of races or so, hasn't it, for Dan? We'll find out how this one transpires. But technically, still 3 drivers in the championship hunt then. But I think it'll be whittled down to 2 at the end of tonight. But I'm not going to make any more predictions than that, because we all know about the commentator's curse. Boo, you should be ashamed of your actions, says Knowlesy. Absolutely. Oh, and Jennant has gone wide, and unfortunately for Jennant, that's a time invalidation there. So we're going to stick with the Davidson Kiwi tonight. There, we've got a lot of new face in ALR, which is really cool stuff indeed there. And of course, and we've also got some drivers who've been reserve drivers, which have got a realistic opportunity to make in their full time debuts for next season and beyond. There, I'm thinking of MHD. What a performance there for MHD from last to first last night, more or less, or almost last to first there. But some other guy won his first Grand Prix last night. I can't remember who it was though. As Kiwi goes 11th fastest at the moment, yellow flag at the top of the circuit. But good stuff indeed there. On board Jennett then, who's going for a second bite of the cherry. Rocket Lee has gone up to second now on a 22 flat, just behind the championship contenders there. Marsky down in 6th position at the moment. That's not good news for Marsky. Well, remember that Marsky would probably like to be a bit higher, but it's Achilles heel in the championship this season. Jenner goes fastest on a 21.6. We're just on board with his not his teammate, Marsky's teammate of Jenner now. But Jenner currently fast on a 21.6. Jenner has already won the qualifying battle. He's already had 11 pole positions in 22 qualifying attempts so far for Jenner. Now, Jenner has not missed a single race in bronze this season. Fantastic stuff indeed then. What was you wearing, Slayer? He might be fast. Meep, says Serious Mushroom as well. I do. I love that. Get that game. That's absolutely fantastic. Meep, of course, Roadrunner potentially, or that Ginger Muppets man as well. He goes Meep, doesn't he, as well, I think. Even though that Muppets man does look like me. If I was very skinny, which sadly I'm not, I'm more round. I'm rounded than a round thing. I'm rounded than a roundabout. I'll be in the Kick Sauber. I think that they are not on a quick lap at the moment because they aren't using any deployment. We're just watching Luke, who's done a great job so far. 7 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Half distance in this qualifying session now. Here is Slayer then, abandoning his first time. Dan. I think realistically, I don't want to rain on Dan's parade here. I certainly shouldn't rain on Dan's parade, but I do feel that Dan realistically is out of the championship unless something very untoward happens with both Marsky and Kian having issues, which is not out of the realms of possibility. Certainly not by a long shot. That's the beauty of live sport. Anything can happen, and it usually does, as the great Murray Walker used to say. It is in his time as a commentator there. Of course, absolute legend he was indeed then. Just watching Dan then coming into the very fast kink of 16, I believe that is. And of course, relatively new circuit to ALR is Qatar. Ashton's happy with his performance there. Only used one set of tyres, I believe Ashton did there. Dan third fastest there. That is going to make Marsky very nervous indeed. Luke is just right behind Dan. Has gone fifth fast in the Aston Martin there for Luke. Good stuff indeed there. Made a new film, frilly pink helmet just for you. Oh, made a new frilly pink helmet just for you, Sean. Thank you very much. Is that my tribute helmet from my last race as in ALR? So just watching Dan then coming into the mid section as well, just over under a tenth of a second up. To be honest, I've actually made my helmet a bit more pinker actually over the last couple of races. I'm actually very depressed to say that Dynamo Dan just about staying on circuit there. I'm very upset that Knowlesy hasn't actually noticed my more hot pink helmet. Never mind. I'll just sit here and grumble. Just watching Dynamo Dan going into 6th fast one. There's a Kick Sauber in the background. I didn't see which one it was. It was LB going at 15th fast as well. It's the only Kick Sauber in this qualifying session. So, of course, through the process of elimination, I would think that's LB. Luke's dropped down to 7th. Now, here's Marsky then. On the edge of the circuit there, Marsky is. And he's used a lot of deployments already, Marsky. Has 5.5 minutes ago in this quali session. Of course, qualifying now, we only get one qualifying session in bronze like we do in silver and in 100% as well. Marsky currently currently in 8th position. Well, I need to stop reading the comments whilst I'm whilst we're trying to be serious for a moment. Then as Marsky accelerated out, is that turn 6? I believe it is. He said it clashes with the papaya. I always know it's your pink helmet. Thank you very much, obviously. Of course, I absolutely appreciate that. But the pink does actually clash with the papaya. Not very good at all. However, of course, McLaren, the first time the Constructors Champions in real F1 since 1998, then, which makes me feel very old because I must admit I was actually watching F1 back then as well. And I do like 98, albeit 98 started very similar to 2024, where the dominant team was the McLaren team, whilst in the real and in 2024 the dominant team was Red Bull, weren't they? And I thought it was going to be a very boring 98 season, but it was actually one of the better seasons. And the same with 2024. I thought that 2024 was going to be a bit like 2023. However, it was a much more interesting season. Marsky goes half a second quicker to go into 5th fastest there. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go, so Marsky can get back to the pits and throw on a new set of tyres. Here comes Jenner. He has been the cream of the crop, hasn't he, in qualifying this season. His 11th pole position in 22 qualifying appearances. I'm not sure how many it is in total of a season in bronze. I know in silver, I'm sure that the benchmark used to be 11 pole positions, which was set by Glock back in season 1. I need to get me homework out, to be honest, and I need to actually, what I should do, I should potentially just get a record spreadsheet on the go, shouldn't I, really? But there we go. I'm just being lazy. However, luckily for the off-season, I'll be filled with chocolate. I'm probably watching a lot of F1 season reviews then to put me out of, to very much put me out of my misery as Jenner goes faster still by by a half and a tenth of a second, if you get the cut of my jib. Jenner still faster on it and extends that advantage there by another tenth, which doesn't sound like a lot in real world, but in Formula 1, that is, my goodness me, that is almost night and day, isn't it? Certainly is in ALR, because as we keep mentioning in gold, the grid separated from front to back is just over a second. That is absolutely redonkulous how close it is in gold. Here's Anthony, 9th in the championship, 9th on the classification at the moment there, but luckily for Anthony, just like in the championship, that is not locked down yet. I forgot to take my jumper off, so I'm getting sweaty already, which is not ideal. I can feel perhaps I should sit down and stop getting excited, as this is only qualifying, sure. But one thing I would love to see next season, and hopefully better range of helmets then. But in the driver's fault, to be honest, it's actually more of the game, to be honest, there, because you have to unlock these helmets and do all challenges and stuff. And no one's got time for that, have they? I got that meme in my head now. Ain't nobody got time for that. Out the final turn, then yellow flag for one of the McLarens, and in turn 1, Anthony goes across the line. Anthony stays at 9th fastest, improves time, not position, and stays at 9th at the moment. Smithfield Mighty is now a 2-time Constructors Champion, albeit he didn't show up last week, shamefully, for Smithfield Mighty. So technically, is he a Constructors Champion? Well, I suppose he has raced in 21 races this season. So I suppose we're allowed to give it to Smithy, but for the moment, and Smithy, a double Constructors Champion as well. I must admit, I need to find out who else is a double Constructors Champion, because it's a big accolade. Oh, Rocket League taking too much curb there in the final sector, so he's going to have to do a lot of harvesting now. A minute and a half to go, 90 seconds in layman's terms. Slayer goes 10th fastest in the Mercedes, just carrying on with Smithy, but Smithy is abandoned this time then, because it's a bit on the go slow in the second sector there. Says one who I don't think I even got to full speed in sector 3 of qualifying in 100% because I couldn't get around the final sector. Whilst everyone else was going through like full flat or basically like just playing with the throttle, I was braking in the third sector, which is not really the best way to go around that. And I think I almost people kept crashing into me almost in the opening stage of the race, which is not ideal. But there we go. Kiwi's got a second up in the first sector. Great stuff indeed there. 45 seconds ago in this qualifying session. I'm keeping an eye out on the checkered flag. We have got a RB, I think, who is just about to start their lap. We got an Alpine just starting their lap as well. And it's yellow flag then, just as drivers are just trying to get out the way at the moment. Luke also starting his lap. We got Mercedes as well coming around. Keeping an eye on that because I want to make sure that we catch everyone's times. And here is Slayer. And they're just on board now with Slayer coming out to the final turn. DRS for Slayer across the line, stays 10th, does not improve his time, and also spams that DRS button. Where's that RB we was looking at? It's Kiwi. Kiwi across the line on his day. Whoa, my goodness me. And Kiwi goes into third fastest. What a debut. Goodness gracious me. Making their debut with a splash. That's incredible stuff indeed. What about Meep? Winnie comes across the line, but does not, has a track invalidation there. That's not ideal. Brennan's gone into sixth fastest in the Red Bull there. 3 positions behind his teammate. And is that Smithy Almighty going into 10th fast? I can't keep up with you all. Meep has gone sixth fastest, and Kian, who's the championship challenger, on pole position here tonight. And for once, that's his 8th pole position of the season and his career. Wow, that's a statement of intent. Here comes Albie now, 3/10 of a second up. That is in the ballpark of Rio Laston, who's currently 15th at the moment there, but stays 16th in the end for Albie. And here comes Jennings found 8/10 of a second. Goodness gracious me. Across the third fastest for Jennings. And that is putting the cat amongst the pigeons here tonight. Golly gosh. Wow, and that Aston Martin was more sideways than going forwards, but goodness me. Luke, for 4 beans at 9th position. Here's the championship leader. Marsky's down in 10th. My goodness me. Oh, gosh. And Dynamo Dan, I think, who was up behind? That was Dan down 6th fastest. Marsky down in 10th. Kian on pole position, and that is perfect for Kian. If things stay as they are, Kian will lead the World Championship going into the final race in Abu Dhabi. But there's a race. So, of course, we cannot count anything yet there. But Kian, pole position number 8 there for the Ferrari driver. Pole position number 8 in 18 qualifying attempts as well for the Constructors' Champions. That's good stuff indeed. I'm out of breath already. Fantastic stuff, but of course, so that is absolute phenomenal stuff there for Kian, isn't it? And to be honest, to get pole position away from Jinner, to be honest, you have to have basically the perfect lap, and that must have been the perfect lap to get pole position here tonight. Who's mentioned Andretti? Cirrus Mushroom. Andretti, yes. But having said that, it's now Cadillac more than Andretti, isn't it? And they have got Ferrari engines for 2026 and... Oh my goodness me, Kian, what's happened? Wow, I'm wondering if that might be homage to because I think there is a trailer out for 28 years later or something like that, which is a very old school zombie film. Sadly, the first 2 absolutely scared the living daylights out of me, and I must say I still have nightmares now. I'm not a very big horror fan, to be honest. Goodness me, but sadly, I was trying to impress a female, but unfortunately, instead of impressing her, I made her realise that I'm actually a big sissy. 17,900 a second between first and second there. Incredible. Emma says more than double. I think Granty's a double champion. That says Knowlesy. I think in terms of the championships, yeah, Emerson is a double world champion. But I'm sure Emerson won. He won F2, I believe, didn't he? Me, F2, and Williams with Granty, says Serious Mushroom. Meep. Marsky blocked my first lap, says Slayer. Oh, goodness me. So Marsky leading the championship, not only down in 10th position there, but Farf will be having a sniff around that to see what is going on with that. And there might be a retrospective penalty as well if Farf is feeling a bit... moody. Hopefully he's not, because he's got a new TV now, hasn't he? We've also got a gaming. Come on, Styles said. Styles on a really good run of form, actually, Styles is, because I'm sure in the last couple of races so far, Styles has scored a 8th position in Las Vegas and a 7th position in Brazil. And it's starting to really come on form now, Styles. That's their first point since the Netherlands. And Styles usually goes through phases where he just continually scores points there. So good stuff indeed there for Styles. And so hopefully that continues. But I'm not a Haas fan. He was on a lap, but also by the looks of it, Slayer, says Knowlesy then. Okay, I'll have a look after, says Slayer then. I changed my Helmet red. Forgot then, says Serious Mushroom. So you lied to me, Mushroom. I'm not happy now. I reckon that's why he keeps giving me dodgy setups. So just watching then the formation lap now. Goodness me. Taurus said, no more banters. This is bantering. It is time for the real deal. Well, qualifying was real as well. But now it's where points means prizes now. And we're on the formation lap for Qatar. And it is Kian on pole position then. As is, if it finishes where they start, which I'll be absolutely beside myself if they do, then Kian will lead the championship going into the final race. Kian pole position, 8th time of his career. Jinner alongside him on row M. Jinner's gone hard tyres here. Remember, over the last 2 races then, of course, a mixture of medium and hard tyres. I must say, I don't really know which strategy is the better one, to be honest. It's been very much a mixed bag, hasn't it? What a qualifying lap for Jenner. Of course, RB cannot win the constructors anymore, but they can confirm themselves seconds tonight. Kiwi on their debut. Fantastic performance from a Kiwi. Now, goodness gracious me. Rocket Lee in 5th position did get a final time in there, and I don't think Dan got a clean lap in the end either, but on the 6th position, Meep and Brennan there have unfortunately come together, along with the second McLaren as well, so that's not ideal for Meep or Brennan, both 7 and 8 men. Luke on the hard tyres in 9th position. There is the championship leader. Marsky in 10th has got a lot of work to do in this race there. Marsky's Achilles heel has been qualified, but as we have said, over the course of history in gold, silver and bronze, we always get great drivers who are not always as quick in qualifying there. And of course, but we'll see how this one transpires. Dynamo Dan in 11th position there. Dynamo Dan knows exactly the position that Marsky, Kian and his teammate Dan is in at the moment. Of course, he experienced that a few seasons ago. So if you're watching in 12th position, Anthony 13th, Slayer 14th, Real Ashton Army, great qualified in 15th. Albie in 16th, Styles on the run as we mentioned in 17th position, Winnie in 18th, 19th is Tory, and at 20th position is Serious Mushroom with an incredible lap in qualifying to start 20th on the grid. And yes, Serious Mushroom has got a different helmet indeed. Disgraceful. Lights are on now. Come on, one at a time then. There's a pause, and we'll be racing in Qatar. Yes, we're go! And I think that Jinner's had a bit of a sluggish start, and Kian has had the perfect start, and it's now absolutely rocketed away with Jenner in 2nd position there. Jinner diving up the inside, but it won't be able to get as much grip because he's on the harder tyres, and Kiwi on the outside then on his David side then. Oh, and Kiwi I think has made a slight contact with Jinner, and has dropped down into 5th position. Kiwi's also ghosting there. Dan is in at 6th position. Well, they're trying to go on the outside of debutant, has ran wide, and Brennan's through as well. That's a good start, and now we've got the other debutant of Meep also trying to go through, but Dan is down into 7th position, down 2 positions there, but Dan's back up the inside here as the middle of the pack then is jostling for position. Marsky's out of the points already. Tory's already up into 14th position. Had a bit of a disappointing race last night in silver, did Tory, but he's up to 30th already. Slayer in 14th position. Diamond Dan's dropped down 4 positions, as is Anthony. Terrible start. And Real Ashton down in 5 positions as well. Marsky is down into 12th position. Winnie is up 7 positions. Good stuff indeed then. So just flicking through the first couple of corners. And Kian leads. 2nd is Jenner. 3rd is Jinner, followed by Rocket Lee in 4th position. Kiwi and Brennan 5th and 6th in the both Red Bulls. Then we got Dan in 7th position. Meep, Luke's. Then we got Almighty, followed by Winnie, and Marsky's down in 12th position. Well, now that could be 13th there, because look at that, and on the outside goes Tory. Marsky down into 13th there. Kian is at the fast half of the race there. Obviously, of course, as the first driver coming across the line, then Dynamo Dan has had a horror show start. Down 9 positions there, Dynamo Dan is there. But Kian is not out. DRS for Jenna. DRS will be available now. So this is going to get interesting indeed then for Kian. Kian basically, well, doesn't need maximum score. Kiwi's flying up there, and he's having a sniff there on Rocket Lee. Rocket Lee having a sniff on the outside of Jenner. Jenner is struggling to fire up those hard tyres. Actually, I think that Jenner's Achilles heel this season has been his tyres. Oh, my word. And I thought there was good. Oh, it's a rubbing his race in his step, but Rocket Lee is going to have to really break deep here. He does, but goodness me, Jenner is kind of in his way. And up into 4th position, there goes a Kiwi. Fantastic racing position there. Great stuff indeed then. Shearsbury's up 5 positions while Tori up 7 positions. Same with Winnie. Marski's down 3 in 30 position. Dandan's dropped down 1 position as well. That is the state of play. We'll keep an eye on that. Rocket Lee is trying to defend now from the second Red Bull. The Red Bull team are on a mission at the moment, aren't they? As they flick through the final part of that, then Lucas through. What about Smithy Almighty is trying to repel the attack from Winnie, and here comes Tori having a sniff, but nothing more than that on the medium compound tyres. Wow, incredible stuff. Lap 2 completed. The gap is 8 tenths of a second there, but Kian has stayed in that DRS, which now means that he will get that DRS set, of course, and start to feel the benefits. Jitter, of course, as we've seen in Las Vegas, and over the course of the contact there, Kiwi's on the outside. Whoa, my word, that's an incredible overtake. Kiwi flying in this stage of the race so far. Goodness me, he is certainly they are certainly showing some pace so far. Dan trying to catch past Brennan at the moment, but no dice there. And at this stage of the championship there, when you've got a driver making their debut at this stage of the season, you are certainly going to be a bit more concerned, aren't you, about potential racecraft, about their speed, and my goodness me. And Jitter there has left the door open, slightly ajar for Rocket Lee, and Rocket Lee is through. Oh, but he had a bit of a squirrel there, and Jitter has taken the place back there. That would have been an almighty overtake. We've got a lot of very impressive it's Winnie has half spun it and has lost 2 positions there. As Howard has it, yes, Smithy's through number 9 position there, getting past his former team then, and Tori's having a look as well. Oh goodness me, there it's getting very tight here, and oh my goodness me, Winnie trying to defend there, but Tori is forcing his way through, and the other McLaren on the outside as well. More contact between the 2 cars, but Tori is through them to 10th position there. Winnie was very determined not to let that kick Sauber going back up the inside, and Winnie has got back past. DRS is now available now, and my goodness me, I don't think Tori's got DRS as well. Marski down in 13th position. It's a horror show start for the championship leader. Up the inside goes Marski. Meep then is going to have to go ever so wide then, and Meep has gone wide. Marski's back into 12th there, and good stuff there for Marski. He now needs to start to make his way through the field. Make his way through the field if he can. Then this is crucial in his championship bid then. And so as it stands, the championship will go down to the wire in Abu Dhabi in a week's time. Mushroom has snuck past Slayer and up into 14th position there. So, oh goodness me, we've got a lot of overtaking up here, and there's a ghost of Rocket, and Brennan's inside. Goodness gracious me, gentlemen. And Dan's up into 4th position now. So Dan is up into 4th position, and of course, as I said then, but Dan needs an almighty swing in the championship at the moment. Jennant is flying out there. Goodness me, Jennant has got some pace here tonight in that RB. I think that Lauren Meckies would wish that the RBs, no disrespect to Jennant, would wish the RBs are probably the other way around, and they would be liking Marski to be in second rather than Jennant there. Of course, Jennant not in the championship fight, sadly, but Marski is there. But Marski is down in 12th position and now outside of DRS, and Meep is within DRS there of Marski, and Marski could drop back down into 13th. But look at the sparks that come up from the plank of that Alpine. Very low Alpine as well, but potentially like every other car, as we got more overtaken. And who's that? That's Tori now into the top 10 now. Winnie's not going to let him go that easily though, is he? As Winnie is fighting every inch of the circuit. He's on the outside, but Tori's going to run him wide, cuts across the McLaren, and then to 11th position. There you go. Meep on the hard tyres, and Cirrus Mushrooms past Marski as well. Marski's down into 14th position now. It's not going well there, but we're only on lap 5 out of 29 here. But unfortunately for Marski, I think that it's very difficult to get safety cars around here. However, what is sparing Marski's blushes at the moment? Having said that, then we just talked about how Lauren Meckies would probably be not happy, would probably rather have Marski up there. Having said that, this is an opportunity though for Jennant to really take some points off of the Ferrari of Kian here, and this is a golden opportunity then as well. And this is if Jennant gets past that, will help Marski no end here. Good luck, Bron, says Nosy. Big out. Why is Mushroom always starting last set? I think Mushroom is normally using the facilities around qualifying time, so that's possibly why he doesn't like to take qualifying there. I think that he's on a timer as well. Mushroom is there, so unfortunately he can't use the facilities before. Go go go, says Andy, and I certainly is saying. I think I'm 6 laps too late there. Gina got diddled there, says Big Al. Well, that's one way of putting it, and goodness me. I'm looking left, right here, but who is it? It's Brennan. Passes Rocket Lee and up into 6th position there. We've got Luke and Smithfield Mighty, then Winnie back in front of Tori here, then Cirrus Mushroom, Meep and Marsky. Marsky down in 14th position at the moment there. As he also mentioned as well, and Janet's taken the lead. So Janet has taken the lead of the Qatar Grand Prix. Smithfield Mighty, the first driver to get penalties, so he's not going to get a kiss off Knowlesy, sadly. So unfortunately for Smithfield Mighty, that is it. That is why no one has got penalties so far. Janet is now going to be the go from aggressor to defender. Or something along those lines. But Kian then looking quite strong, isn't he, here? Marsky's got penalties as well, then it's not looking good at all for Marsky. However, we're only on lap 6 out of 29 here. Safety cars are very rare around here, but you cannot discount anything out, especially in live sport, especially in Formula 1 ALR. Anything can happen. Tori's got a penalty as well. Goodness gracious me, they're all rolling in now, aren't they? And Jennan's got a penalty as well. That's the most crucial driver to get a penalty so far. No disrespect to the other three, but Jennan is fighting for the championship. So whatever happens now, Kian could probably park his car behind Jennan. He has just gotten past Jennan, but he can park his car behind Jennan and potentially, as Jennan going on the inside there, Luke has got past Smithy, and we've also got Winnie, Tori's got past Winnie, Meep has got past Cirrus Mushroom, or defending from Cirrus Mushroom. There's a lot of action there going down that back straight at the moment, but Kian back through, but Jennan with a pounce now. Kian, if he does get passed by Jennan later on this race, he could just sit behind Jennan. Kian could just sit behind Jennan now and still win the race, and that's a time penalty which will be added to the end of the driver's race time there. So crucial stuff indeed. Here's Dan in 5th position at the moment. Lap 7 out of 29 here. Of course, medium tyre runners were expected to be in the pits in the not too distant future. Harder runners were expected to be in the pits later on in this race, which is very much stating the obvious. But that's kind of what you expect from me, is that you don't expect any in-depth technical knowledge from myself, or any knowledge at all, to be honest. Here's Winnie. Nothing doing on that just fine. You can see just in the foreground there, or the background then, of course, is the Qatar Stadium, where the World Cup final was held there 2 years ago, and I'm sure it was 2 years ago to the day, either yesterday or the day before or the day before that. But time flies when you're having fun. That was a cracking World Cup final, indeed, wasn't it? But anyway, this is not a World Cup final. It's kind of a semi-final, isn't there? In terms of the championship fight, they're going this way and that way, going for the old switcheroo potentially. But Kiwi is still in for this. There he is being, and the gap is now 4 seconds. This is beautifully working out fantastically well. Marsky's got past me, put up in the 13th position. This is working out well for the top two there. There is Luke and Smithy. They're 2.5 seconds back from this gaggle of cars. So they need to start. Dan's got a penalty as well. Penalties are really rolling in here. Remember at the beginning of this race, we did, I think it was Cirrus Mushroom that mentioned yesterday actually about the penalties there. And Cirrus Mushroom has been keeping count on the penalties. I think Silver had the most penalties with 14 or 15 yesterday. Gold had 11. So let's see what Bronze could do. But I don't think that anyone will get to 48 seconds like a certain Ginger Rage did on Wednesday's Grand Prix in the McLaren Mercedes. However, I've got no excuse, to be honest. Albeit, actually, I do have an excuse. For some reason, I got a 20-second penalty in the last two turns, even though I had no fuel. But technically, I was going full throttle in those final two turns. So probably, as Ginner's got a penalty as well now. And of course, we had an epic World Cup final with a lot of penalties. We're having an epic semi-final with a lot of penalties here tonight. Then Kian leads the Grand Prix still. Janet is still in second position, and Meep has got a penalty as well now. Tori and Winnie have swapped positions before the final corner now, but Winnie's not having any of it. and then goodness me, we're going to have a rewind here as I can't decide on. And look at me, who is a Kiwi dropping down into 5th position there, and Dan trying to force Kiwi very much out wide there. Oh, it's the Kiwi flipping the bird at Dan. As Dan still on the inside here. And my goodness gracious me, and I must say I was struggling to get through that corner with just myself. That's incredible how they got through that corner with 2. And Kiwi fighting and almost spinning the car. And Brendan there keeping a very watchful eye in the background as well, along with Rocket Lee, getting very precarious between the 2 drivers here. Remember Kiwi making his debut tonight then, and goodness gracious me. Dan then, of course, this is first season challenging for the championship there, but Kiwi's not interested in the championship tonight there. He wants to make a splash. He certainly is at the moment in the Red Bull. Fantastic. Gap at the front, up to 7/10 of a second a moment, but it's still in DRS range at the moment. We've got a couple of crocodiles out there now, haven't we? Of course, we got, not sure if there is crocodiles in Qatar, but we do have Kian as Winnie and Tori just get this is a great fight! Contact again! Oh my word! Oh my gosh, Aaron, I don't even know why I squealed like that. Winnie's got another penalty. These two are kicking lumps out of each other. Goodness gracious me. Gosh. And Marsky is going to be happy with that because into the pits comes Kiwi. Marsky's going to be happy with that then because now Marsky has homed in because of their battle there. And look at that. Now Gina is out of DRS range of Dan because Kiwi's in the pits there. And now is Rocket Lee has got past Brennan as well. But Rocket Lee's had did Rocket Lee just let him back through there potentially? Was there an issue with the accelerator on the Mercedes car? Potentially. And now we got Marsky does not want... Marsky was happy about that fight earlier on, but I think that Marsky would rather not be in this fight at all because Marsky's got a lot to lose at this stage of the Grand Prix, whilst Tori, Meep, and Winnie have not got much to lose, to be fair to them. They're really very much racing for a bit of fun out there. Marsky's got a championship on his mind at the moment there in the RB. Oh my word, and getting very precarious down into turn 5, I think it is. So Kiwi's coming to the pits from the hard tyres very early on then. So whether those hard tyres can get to the end or not, we'll find out then. But I think the Kiwi has had enough of that battle in there. With Dan is coming to the pit side, taking himself out of that battle, and is now going to go for a undercut then. So that the undercut around here can be quite powerful, but of course, as long as you get those tyres up to temperature, you've got to fire those tyres up to temperature then, as this is a night race, of course, then, which means that the track conditions are going to be cooler. Second penalty tonight then for Marsky. Oh, goodness gracious me. So Janet still leads then, but no, Marsky still leads. Kian still leads. Goodness gracious me, Sean. The inside there goes Janet takes the lead then. Of course, turn 1 is a very it's an action zone around here, isn't it? Smithfield Mighty has rolled the dice as well and has come into the pits for the Ferrari driver then called Smithfield Mighty. Even though he didn't race last season, also making his 70th Grand Prix start tonight as well. Smithfield Mighty is Marsky's off the circuit. And goodness me, Marsky's now dropped behind Mushroom and the team McLaren and recovering, but Marsky's off and it turned 1 then, and this not good at all. Smithfield Mighty's now in the back of the queue here. No retirement so far, but Marsky not ideal. We didn't see what happened there, but this is not going well at all for Marsky on board the veteran, down in 12th position now, out of DRS range of Sirius Mushroom and Co in front of him. But I'm wondering if Marsky's on hard tyres as well, isn't he? I was wondering if potentially Marsky's going to try and get himself out of this battle, like with Kiwi, like with Smithfield Mighty, coming to the pits there, throwing a set of hard tyres to the end of the race, but he can't do that because he's on the hard tyres. You have to use 2 types of tyres in this formula. As we got Winnie and Tori again. Goodness gracious me! Brennan's got a 3-second penalty. I must say that these two have had the rivalry of the season so far, haven't they? They've only raced against each other 11 laps in this Qatar Grand Prix. Incredible! My word. I wonder what these two have had for breakfast there. As we got a lot of swapping around. Kian retakes the lead in Qatar. Into the pits comes Dan. And now we got Winnie and Tori both coming into the pits there. And they've all come into the pits. This is Marsky will be grinning now. Well, I'm not sure if he'll be grinning, but I think that he'll be happy or relieved then to be out of that battle, because my goodness me, that was a very intense battle to say the least there. So at the moment the championship is going down to the wire as Albie's got a 10-second penalty. He's going to be kicking himself with that one there. 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Sadly, we had a lot of penalties actually of speeding in the pit lane over the over the course of this event, haven't we? Unfortunately, there for the drivers there, as Rocket Lee is behind Brennan now, but in front of Luke. But Luke is on the hard tires, and he's the second highest runner on the hard tires. And after that, we got a humongous gaggle of cars because we got Meep, Marvski, Dan, and Real Ashton there fighting. Then Ashton then has done 11 laps on the medium tires. Ashton has said this is a tough old circuit. Marvski's got another penalty. Oh my word! That's 9 seconds of penalties then for Marski after 12 laps. This is not good at all for Marski. Oh my word. At the moment, Kean takes the lead in the championship then. So we are just coming to half distance now then. So it might be damage limitation now for Marski. Back on board with Marski. Then we got Slayer and Dynamo Dan. Dynamo Dan then, of course, just like Marski, Dynamo Dan has had this feeling in the second to last race in China a few seasons ago against championship rival Jinner. So Dan would certainly be maybe feeling, not at this moment then, I don't think, because you certainly can't feel sorry for your rival at this stage, and Kiwi's got a penalty there. So I think that's Kiwi's first penalty. Trying to come back through the field now. Kiwi's got a lovely 6-second gap between himself and Styles, but Styles is on a very worn 12-lap old hard tires. On board of Anthony, he is in this gaggle of cars who was mentioned about that does have hard tires from the start that they are just trying to whittle their way through that. Brendan coming out in 15th position there, just in front of Smithy. Smithy there has elevated himself up a few positions there, and Winnie and Tori have came in the pits together, come out the pits together as well, and Serious Mushroom there has also been dragged along in this battle. My goodness me, but Smithy Almighty has jumped past those two, so he got a lap older tyres has Smithy, so that's going to be crucial then. Up the inside there goes Brendan, very nicely done there from Ashton there to keep out of the driver's way. Ashton there, I think that this is a learning season for Ashton there, but next season for Ashton, I feel that he is certainly going to be nearer to the points end. But I must say, one of my votes for the season end at Real Ashton is he's done a great job indeed there. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not sure if I am, to be honest, but unfortunately the cat's on the bag now. Into the pits comes Rocket Lee. Don't tell me anything, because unfortunately I usually give the game away. Kean in the pits, and that's a very sluggish getaway there from the Ferrari. I think that Ferrari knows that at the moment this race is in the palm of their hand. I know we're only on lap 14, but they are getting the job done absolutely right here. And of course, they certainly are. They're certainly doing a really good job there. Here comes Jennett, and Jennett there is going to be side by side, and he's going to go on the outside here at Kean and passes, but he does have a lap older tyres on Kean. Is that going to be crucial in this Grand Prix? Well, either way, Kean is still technically in front because of that penalty. We don't know how many warnings Kean's got at the moment, but of course only 3 warnings and you get a penalty. I should know that. I had a lot of warnings and a lot of penalties around this circuit, unfortunately. However, I think that I was unfairly dished penalties, to be honest, because I'm surely not that bad at driving. Cough, cough. We got to Jennett, who is currently getting stuck behind the Styles. Styles has got no obligation to get to let these drivers through because there's no blue flags here. Dan's got past Kiwi. Kiwi's struggling at the moment there. I wonder if Kiwi started to tighten up in the car because of potential penalties that he might be concerned will be coming their way. Lap number 14 of this race there. Look at the understeer on that RB from the Haas car. That dirty air effect that is really hurting Janet. Now the understeer is going to cause more turning for Janet now, which means that more usage on those tires. And here comes Kean, and of course he may have judged in the pits, but Kean is alongside. Winnie's got a penalty. Kean is alongside, passes Janet, and maybe even to get past Stars as well into turn 1. He's done it. He has. Kiwi's alongside Dan as well. Who was that? Someone just stuck their finger up at me. That's disgraceful. Kean now up into 8th position now. I don't blame him though. Kean up into 8th position as Stars is down into 9th. Janet in 10th position there, but he might be able to go to 9th. No DRS there. Forces his way through. Stars there, of course, will be back in this Grand Prix later on then when he's on the medium tires. And of course, Stars, like a lot of the other drivers, and the likes of Marski, the likes of Meep and Dynamo Dan, all on the harder tires at the moment. Meep is very much matching Marski wheel for wheel at the moment. Great debut for Meep, great debut for Keith. Jenner leads by 3 seconds from Luke, who's 8 seconds in front of this battle between Marsky and Meep. Dynamo Dan in 5th position there. 6th position is Anthony at the moment. Now we've got Slayer in 7th. They're all in DRS range. Just like that, on the inside goes Meep then, and goodness me, Rocket Lee's got a penalty there as Luke's in the pits. Is that early there for the hard tyres? The medium tyres they might not be feeling as fresh for Luke as the rest of the rivals around him. Dmarsky is desperate not to lose this position, but he might have to yield. But having said that, Meep's gone wide after a slight bit of contact into turn 1, and that has allowed Dynamo Dan back in the facility as well. Dan is now in 10th position there, right behind Kiwi then, with Luke is now medium tyres in front of Brennan, in front of Rocket Lee. We got Styles coming to the pits as well. So the first of the runners who start on the hard tyres is now starting to pop into the pits, change those tyres onto the medium, and then back out, and they will be quicker than a hiccup. However, might be a bit of a stretch there to get those medium tyres to the end there. 10 seconds of gap is between Jinner and Marsky. We'll see where Jinner comes out later on then. In terms of penalties, the big headline is Marsky's got 9 seconds of penalties there. It's unusual to see Marsky with so many penalties, but this is a very tense time for the championship leader. If you just joined us, welcome. The top 5 or 6 have not pitted yet. Kian is the de facto leader in this race. Kian is the highest runner who has pitted then. Him and Jenner have had an almighty scrap then for the Grand Prix lead there, but Jenner is starting to drop back now, starting to struggle. I wonder if the dirty air and the understeer on his car has really unsettled the tyres potentially, and because of that then, as Anthony has got past Dynamo Dan, Meep has taken the second position away from Marsky at the moment. Good evening to you, Gordo. Of course, Gordo, I think, is a chef after some of his cuisines that he shares with us there, and we've got a lot of overtaking going on here. Dan, I'm looking at the wrong car as Kiwi has got past Jenner as well. Jenner has lost all momentum and all pace on these harder tyres here. So that is not ideal then for Jenner. And now we got Kiwi, who's potentially fighting for second now. Kiwi making their debut, having a great start to their ALR career, but didn't get past Jenner on this time around then, which now means that Dan's back in the facility, and that also means that Kiwi's now going to have to start to look over his shoulder then. And when you're attacking then, that just adds a new dimension to your Grand Prix, doesn't it? Because you now got to have the eyes in the back of your head as well as looking forward then. Of course, I say old English saying that, which of course that means you've got to look backwards and forwards then, which is very difficult to do indeed. So, at this moment, in the top 5 not pitted. Kian is coming to the back of that top 5 now, but Jenner's in the pits. So, Jenner is coming into the pits now. So, and is this the prime time to come into the pits? So, he's got 11-second lead over second place Meep and Marsky. So, Jenner might be a major factor in this one. We'll soon find out there, because there is a lot of time lost into the pit lane here. Out of the final turn, and no one else has pitted. Marsky has taken the lead. Has got past Meep as well. Anthony in second position, and now we've got Kian, who's come out in 5th position. Where's Jinner? Jinner coming out the pits now. It's not as close as what I thought it'd be then, but Jinner is going to be very quick in the final stages then, and he's behind Luke, he's behind Corey, Brennan as well. Rocket Lee has come out just behind him as well. Smithy Almighty, that early pick. Oh my goodness me, 3 abreast going into turn 1. Serious Mushroom is through. Winnie's now up in 15th, and Tori down to 60th position. Winnie and Tori are absolutely kicking lumps out of each other here tonight, and Serious Mushroom has been the innocent bystander, which I know is quite shocking to hear Serious Mushroom be innocent about anything, but Serious Mushroom is the innocent bystander, and I think that he's having to referee this battle at the moment, but I think he's had enough of that. He wants to just pull away now, but it's a very difficult thing to get out of DRS range around this circuit. Very much this as well, as here comes Jinner on the inside, and on the inside of Brennan, and goodness gracious me, that was very much a day late and a dollar short. But goodness gracious me, of course you need to take, oh my word, I was going to say you need to take risks, but goodness gracious me, that's why, because look in the background, it was a silver arrow, it was Rocket Lee. Albie's got a penalty, and Marsky's in the pits, and Meep has stayed out. That could be, I reckon that Marsky may have done a really good idea there to now come into the pits earlier than his rivals and of course go for the undercut then, which may help him later on down the race, but also may hinder him as well in terms arms, getting those tires to the end of the race. And Jenner is back into 9th position now. Rocket Lee is also having a sniff as well. Rocket Lee has also got past Brennan as well. And unfortunately, Brennan unable to defend, but Rocket Lee's gone wide, and Corey has got himself back into the play here. However, Rocket Lee is through. But Serious Mushroom and Winnie have a renewing rivalries there, and Tori is also involved as well. This battle, look at the background there. That's Dynamite Dan there on the medium tires. This battle has really cost these drivers there. Remember, they've all gone into each other there. Winnie, Serious Russian and Tourist got a ricochet effect there. Some drivers there have mentioned about potentially trying to help each other with DRS and all that kind of stuff. But of course, Luke's got a penalty, unfortunately. There, Jennant is now on the outside. So Dan trying to go on the inside. Dan's got 1 lap older tyres there. That is crucial, I think. However, it doesn't look crucial at the moment, does it? Though, you're looking from the pictures anyway. Meat Bleeds on his debut. Fantastic racing for the McLaren driver. Really good stuff. No retirement so far, which has been a very much clean as a whistle race. There or thereabouts. And Brendan's got another penalty. And now we have got Jennant, we've got Kiwi, and we've got Slayer. Oh my word! And going down, and Slayer's had enough of that. He comes into the pace. I don't blame him. And now coming across the line. Oh my goodness me! And that's a cracking overtake there from a Dan. What a manoeuvre! Sadly, the award's already out then, but I feel that could have been one of the overtakes of the season. Dan has done a double overtake on the back straight and is now into 3rd position. What a manoeuvre! Now can he leave Jennant and Kiwi to fight their battles there and pull away? I don't think they can, because it's so difficult to get out DRS there. But what a manoeuvre nonetheless there for Dan Kiwi. Jennant is just on this second stint there. He was so quick in the opening stint there. Him and Kian was matching each other stride for stride. Just shows how some drivers just absolutely excel on the softer tyre compared to the harder tyre. It's so incredible, isn't it? You would think that they're just 4 black round things, and of course they're very simple. But tyres is very much not simple at all. Then it's very Martin Brundle called it voodoo. It certainly is voodoo, isn't it? Sometimes, my goodness gracious me. Yes. So Jennant has gone from the second to the fastest or second fastest driver in this Grand Prix to now 6th in the battle, which potentially may even be out of a podium here. Kiwi's got another penalty, unfortunately, for Kiwi, but still a great debut. Oh my goodness me, Luke there. I thought the door's going to shut on Luke. As into the pits comes Meep then, so I'm wondering what tires Meep's going to go on. Look at them all just slipstreaming, and here comes Jinner, and they've just parted the sea for Jinner, haven't they? But Jinner needs a bit more slipstreaming, and Luke on the inside, and now Jinner is never shy of an overtake going up the inside, and Jenner there just underlines the struggles he's having in this second stint, down into 6th position. Dan and oh my goodness me! And Dan into Kiwi are going wheel to wheel, and Kiki is very much so burst onto the scene here tonight. And he's not shy of an overtake either. Like Jenner, Kiwi loves a good overtake there. And Dan though is not giving this one up there. Jenner on the newer medium tyres there. Of course, Luke on the medium tyres as well. But Jenner's are 2 laps younger. Dan there keeping the inside. The door just slightly ajar, and Kiwi was going to burst through it. But the moment Kiwi is still in the 3rd position there. Dan and Kiwi having an almighty scrap. Then we got some great manoeuvres. And Luke having a sniff up the inside. But Jenner is slammed the door shut on the toes of Kiwi. No, of Luke, I should say. My goodness gracious me. Whilst in front, Kian is leading the championship then. If it finishes now with 8 laps to go, Kian leads the championship with just 1 more race to go. My word. Is that the first time Kian's led it? I'm sure Kian's led it actually another time as well, hasn't he? At the inside then, Kiwi going a bit wide there, Jinner taking a lot of curb and then a bit more than possibly what he wanted there. However, he might have got away with that because I don't think he went over the white line then. Now here comes Jinner then. Jinner going for a bit of a double dose of DRS and he's through. He takes, where does he go? I think he's up in the 2nd position now. Kiwi back on the inside as now Jinner, who has the medium tyres. Remember, this season for Jinner has been marred by tyre issues, and Kiwi and Dan have had a bit of coming together there, and Kiwi's dropped down 2 positions and behind the medium shod Luke there, so that is not good at all for Kiwi, because I think it's going to be difficult to get past the medium runner. However, Luke's got to do another 7 laps on those medium tyres. Can he do it? I don't know, to be honest, but we will find out then, hopefully. We got about 7 more laps to go. Remember, as I was saying, Jenna's season has been marred by tyres issues, haven't they? So we've got soft tyres for Meep, and we've also got soft tyres for Real Ashton as well. I'm not sure if the soft tyres can get to the end, but we'll find out. I'm not sure, to be fair. I'm feeling that might be a bit ambitious on board Luke. This set here is incredible, isn't it? And it's even more incredible because the amount of dirty air that is coming off of the back of Dan's car is absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Then into the final turn, then Kian's gap is 4.2 seconds there. Is Junior going to become a sting in the tail? Marsky down in 14th position there. So Marsky is having a horror show of a day today for Marsky as Luke has got through and up into the third position here. Marsky has scored in every single race that he's participated in, apart from Austria. But Marsky has not had a DNF in his career. So Marsky, and he didn't start the first race in Bahrain, but Marsky has scored in every single race apart from Austria. And Marsky got another penalty then, and oh my word, he could say that he may have got forced out wide there, but Mushroom then, well, to be honest there, well, we'll find out then, of course. The throttle works both ways, doesn't it? But whether that was unfair or not, that will be down to the stewards. Marsky there wandering off the circuit there, but Marsky on the medium tires then. Can he? Oh, it's getting very, it's Marsky now. I think that's a bit of frustration there for the RB driver in 12th position. And he's 2 seconds away from the top 10 if he passes the Kick Sauber. But then, of course, then he's got to get past Dan, who's also on the medium tires, but he's done 2 laps more on those medium tires. And after that, a 4-second gap to Smithy. But the penalties, I think, is going to hurt Marsky in this one, I feel. 23 out of 29 here. Let's take a look at the penalty situation so far. 3 seconds for Jinner, 3 seconds for Luke, 6 seconds for Dan, 3 for Rocket Lee, 6 for Kiwi and Brennan, 9 for Jenna. Now that's going to cost him, I feel. 3 seconds for Smithy. We've also got Dynamo Dan having a great race so far. Here comes Rocket Lee. Rocket Lee, he's thrown it on the inside there, and my goodness me. And was that a bit of an opportunistic maneuver there? It certainly was opportunistic. Was a bit optimistic. Dan in more contact there, and my word, as Rocket Lee they're going through turn 4 flat out, and Rocket Lee there still was able to take one hand off the steering wheel there and give Dan there is been hit there by one of the Red Bulls, I think. I think it's getting a bit hot under the collar there. It is a very tough race, this one is. You get very frustrated getting stuck behind drivers. I should know it. Well, sadly, I don't know about getting stuck behind drivers, but drivers certainly got stuck behind me. But a lot of frustration out there, I think, in this Grand Prix tonight. Then there has not been no major incidents, but there certainly has been a lot of kicking and clawing and scratching in this one, and this one there. And there's going to be some drivers that is really going to profit from no penalties. The likes of Dynamo Dan, the likes of Serious Merchant, of course, Kian there, who is being homed in on hand over fist now from Jenna. The gap is now down to 3.2 seconds. Question is, can those medium tyres get to the end of the race in good nick? And also, can Jenna get past and then get 3 seconds out of Kian? And can Kian not keep a clean pair of heels? Brennan's through and up into 6th position now. Dan dropping down to 7th position. And Meep has got another penalty, and both McLarens are now up to 9. And this is a penalty-heavy circuit, this one is there. As Dan struggling. A lot of oversteer there. Marsky is now in 11th position there, but Tori has just about kept in DRS there. As Dan's got another penalty. That's now up to 9 seconds there for Dan. Currently, as it stands, Dan is out of the championship, sadly. Dan has been involved in the championship since the get-go this season there. One of the championship favorites, Marsky's got a 15-second penalty now. Well, I think I heard in the build-up to this race that Marsky was struggling to keep the penalties down there, but also I think with a lot of fighting in the midfield, being qualifying 10th, down in 11th at the moment now. There's frustration in that cockpit for the championship leader, and he can see his championship lead starting to slip away with one more race to go in Abu Dhabi in a week's time. Then it is going down to the wire as it stands there, and it is going to be very much tense stuff. And this time next week there, I can barely contain myself, and I'm not even a competitor. We got the Red Bull then of Kiwi. I'm going to look on the inside of Rocket Lee. Sadly, Kiwi does have an extra 3 seconds of penalties, but Kiwi is certainly looking very much on pace at the moment. Rocket Lee back up into third, Kiwi back up into fourth, and Luke does not have as many penalties as the drivers in front. So it's advantage Luke at the moment, but my goodness me, anything can happen at this Grand Prix, and it usually does. Driver of the Day vote has been put out by Farf. We'll so of course get your votes in then, but I would say that we've got 4 laps to go still. There's a lot more racing still to come in those 4 laps. Gordo, yes, the cheeky soupy thingy, haha. Yes, I must admit we we don't actually know what Gordo had for tea last night. Of course, that was when the conversation we had whilst I had an issue with the Grand Prix and had to delay the start. And one of the conversation was what we had for tea. But sadly, during that conversation, which I was so absorbed by, Jen's got no penalty. That's up to 12 now. That's not ideal. Unfortunately, during that conversation, I missed my bus stop, so I had to do a bit of waddling to get back to me fast. But luckily, well, actually, I did not waddle at all. I just got my nephew to give me a lift up. But still, I'm going to be honest, it would have been quicker to walk out, but never mind. But I'm lazy. Anyway, enough about my problems. We got a lot of problems on the circuit at the moment. A lot of drivers when he's got no penalty, then up to 12 as well. The penalty's starting to rack in then. I must say then, the penalties are Marsky. Oh, it's up to 18 now. That I think that with 12, 15 and 18, that was going to be very difficult contact into turn 1. And that was great synchronized spinning there between Luke and between Rocket Lee and I think it was Kiwi. And Luke is now strike whilst the iron's hot. While Luke and Rocket Lee and Kiwi, great synchronized spinning there. I'll get that 10 out of 10. However, unfortunately, in terms of their pace, in terms of battling, they have now brought Luke back into this battle as well. Luke has done a lot of laps on these medium tyres. Knowles, he has said that Marcy needs to go in the pits, go for fastest lap, because that is the only way that Marcy's going to be able to get a point now, surely. 18 seconds, I think there's even 15 seconds was difficult to oh, it's Luke there. I thought he was a goner. Well saved, sir. Goodness me. I think it should work in the back. Those savers are incredible. Luke is... sorry, terrible. Luke, though, is... look at the understeer. I'm going to be honest, a lot of these penalties is not drivers running wide intentionally. It is... Oh, and Rocket Lee, where did he come from? My good grief. Up and down through as well. My goodness me, these drivers are absolutely brutal. If they smell any weakness at all, they as Jennings into the pit. So Jennings is coming in, I think, for that fastest lap point, as Knowles mentioned there. But these drivers, if they smell any weakness, they jump on it. Luke back into third position now. Smithfield Mighty is now in 8th position. Donovan is 9th. Marsky's in the points there, but he would not be in the points for long with that with those amount of penalties, unfortunately. Kiwi all over the back here of Luke. Goodness gracious me. Kian now leads by 3.7 seconds. I think the medium tires are starting to fall off then for Jinner. Great race today by Jinner, from Jinner, by the way. Then I'm wondering if he has found that as he found out the Achilles heel then is what's more this season. Then of course that was front and centre at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Absolutely dominated that race there, Jinner did, but then fell off the racetrack, didn't he? Because of tyre issues. Goodness gracious me. Why didn't Marsky pit, says Knowles? Then unfortunately, Marsky is out of the top 10 now. The gap is, he's got to get 15 seconds over Tori, and unfortunately, he's nowhere near that at the moment. We're on lap 28 out of 29, because it's too late now, because the race leader will be finished before Marsky can get a fast lap in. You need 2, as what's happening? It's yellow flag then, and it is... just at this part of the circuit here, and it's Meep and Tori now. Tori has had a nightmare with McLaren drivers, hasn't he? Goodness gracious me. I must admit, it's going to get very interesting indeed. Then the laps have flown by. We're on the final lap, and I was thinking about talking about how this tactical battle might unfold. Kiwi up in the third, Rocket Lee up in the 4th position there, passes Luke, who's down into 5th. But Luke does not need to worry. He has got 3-second penalty less than Rocket Lee, 6 seconds penalty less than Varsky's struggling out there, and one of the medium tires has started to go off there. Luke's done a really good job there, if that's the case then, because is Rocket League going very wide then. Luke, who's now into a yellow flag down in turn one, and is that Marsky? No, Marsky's dropping down behind, so Marsky's crawling. Rocket League has dropped down the other side. It's that fuel issues. Is that fuel that's going on then? I think there might be some fuel that's occurring out there at the moment. It's causing issues, and I wonder if Rocket League's one of them. His fuel light is flashing. On the inside then goes Dan trying to get past Luke here. Yellow flag again. I think it's another Ferrari. Is it this slowing down? It's Smithy to slow it down as well. Goodness gracious me. And here comes Kean then going for win number 9 of the season out of 18 races. That's a 50% win rate. Kean takes the lead in the World Drivers' Championship there. And with one race to go, it's going down to the wire in Abu Dhabi. Kean wins the Qatar Grand Prix. My word there, as Luke is going to go all the way up to third there, but we need to be concerned as Rocket League's got 7th position in the end then, I think that, but drivers are running out of fuel here. We didn't even mention the fuel issues, but Smithfield Mighty is going to be kicking himself there because Smithfield Mighty is in a very solid 8th position, has dropped all the way down to 14th because of fuel problems there. Oh dear, oh dear. Marsky spun, says Nosey. So Marsky has spun, dropped down to 7th position. Jennings got that fast out of the race, which will help RB, will not help, which unfortunately not help Marsky. Marsky 0 point today means that Kean has got a 5-point advantage going into the final race of the season in Abu Dhabi. Then it's all or nothing now, basically. It's winner takes all in Abu Dhabi. And Marsky had a 20-point lead coming into this race. Now will come out of Qatar, 5 points back. Then, my word, there. Didn't think about the fuel, says Knowles. Then, to be honest, I didn't either, to be fair, which I probably should have done because I raced in this race around this circuit a few days ago. GG's can't join the podium party. Sorry, guys. Don't worry, Jenner. I wouldn't take offence, but I must say, I wouldn't like talking to me either. However, have a great race from Jenner today then. 94% tyre wear percent at the SS Meep. Goodness gracious me. Incredible incredible stuff indeed there from Meep. And wow, what a debut for Meep. Fantastic stuff indeed. What a debut it was for both our debutants out there. Great stuff indeed. Absolutely a big thumbs up from me from an observer here. Oh goodness me, as Alex, get ready to discard Kaka when I beat you on FIFA. Is Kaka still playing? Goodness gracious me. 1 week to go to get that point. Not looking great, says Real Ashton. Don't worry about that, Real Ashton. You've been one of... Oh no, I'm going to miss the final classification. That's rubbish. Shocking stuff indeed. That's really sunk my battleship, hasn't it? Who won Drive of the Day, by the way? Because I was absolutely talking waffle. We got it. No, we haven't. Never mind. Luke's joined the party. But who got Drive of the Day? Then 27% of the vote goes to Jinner. Kean gets 45%. Champions Drive tonight there from Kean. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then we've also got Luke on 9% as well. Right here then. So Luke, you got a third position today. However. Oh, goodness me, I can hear myself. That's horrible. do you guys actually have to pull up for that as well? Goodness gracious me. Luke, you got a podium today with only getting 3-second penalties as well. But before we go into that podium, let's talk about the race itself then, because I must say it was certainly looking very tough out there, and there was a lot of wheel banging as well throughout that race.
Yeah, there definitely was. It was quite a lot of contact into turn one. I saw some people make some outrageous dive bombs. It was just about keeping clean, especially on that final lap when the two guys ahead made contact. They ghosted, and I was like, please do not unghost right in front of me, because knowing my luck, that's what's going to happen. But they didn't. But yeah, a lot of wheel banging, quite scary at points out there, but still a pretty fun race and recovery from me.
Yeah, because actually, I think in qualifying, normally we see you a bit further up, but you was a bit more in the midfield today. Then, was you concerned about the start of the race? Then, of course, we call it the carbon fibre zone. Was you concerned about that at all, or was you quite content with your hard tyre strategy to start with?
I was initially very worried because, as you said, carbon fibre zone, it is, especially at Qatar, when it's such a high sort of medium speed corner for turn one, I was terrified. But when I saw on the formation lap that only one driver around me was on mediums, I thought that's okay. Because if I was the only driver surrounded by a sea of mediums, I thought I'd be done for. Because everything that most of the drivers around me was on hards, it calmed me a lot knowing that chances were we were all going to get pretty equal starts. It wasn't going to be too much chaos into turn one.
And then after that, and after you navigated that to opening lap one, then how difficult or how much did you feel that this is may not going to go well for me because drivers on the medium tires are going to start to pull away from me, or was you not concerned by that? Was you just focusing on your own race?
Yeah, I was sort of focusing on my own race. I checked the race director during the formation lap, so I had a rough idea knowing who was going to be on what. I was surprised the mediums held out as long as they did. When I did some practice runs, they only did about 6 laps before they were about equal to the hards. Tonight, I think it's about lap 9, 8, 9 that the mediums sort of dropped off, but then the hards sort of dropped off a little bit long after. I don't think really either tyre compound tonight, medium or hard, was particularly sort of suitable. The mediums, there's so much understeer with these semi-high-speed corners that neither tyre compounds felt especially nice to drive this evening.
And with races like that, do you feel that it makes the race a bit dull from your point of view? Would you rather see a race where there's maybe a bit of step in compound tyres where maybe you can throw on a soft or something like that? Or do you like races like this where it's a bit more straightforward and you just got to rely on your pace?
I'd love a bit more thrown into the mix. I mean, because you know that every strategy is going to be either medium hard or hard medium, and that you throw a soft in. You don't drive the soft until there's a last minute safety car. I remember the days of F1 2020 where if you qualified on soft tyres at Singapore, you had to do a two-stop strategy because at Singapore the tyre wear was so high that if you started on softs, you had to do a two-stop. So I do miss. I want a little bit more variation. I want the soft tyre to be able to actually be a race tyre, because at the moment the soft tyre in this game is just a qualifying tyre. If you use it in the race, chances are you're not gonna get anywhere with it. So I'd like a bit more variation.
You heard that far. Get that in. And of course, with the in the final stage of the race, that he was on the medium tires and he was starting to overtake anyway. Do you feel though that we had a conversation, I think, in the paddock after Gold on Sunday about drivers potentially should be helping each other and maybe like just instead of fighting for every inch of the track, maybe potentially just let each other go and just tow each other along. What do you think about that analogy, or can't you do that because you're competitors out there?
I mean, your competitors out there, first and foremost, you want to beat the guys ahead. But Kieran, my race engineer, he gets really mad because he always yells. He's going, "Why are these people fighting so hard? Why are they fighting so hard?" And I noticed it tonight. Like, there were, I think the last lap, the contact between those two cars, or the penultimate lap, one of them had 6 seconds, one of them had 9 seconds, and I'm thinking, why is the 6 second car going for an outrageous move when he just has to stay behind? You know you're going to get that position back. It's why I let those guys through, because my mediums were dying. I knew that they were going to be about equal pace to me. No point fighting it, because I know that in the long run I'm going to get third place back. So I'd like a little bit more cooperation. I think I was doing it earlier in the race, can't remember with whom, and we were sort of DRS hopping each other, trying to catch the pack of cars ahead. It wasn't particularly effective because at Qatar the DRS is so strong that if you don't have DRS, you're going to get pulled away from. But you need a little bit. I think people need to cooperate a little bit more, and they need to think just that little bit further ahead.
And then, of course, that final stint, and you was on the medium tyres there. Did you know about the gap in front between yourself and Kian and Jinner? Did you think that, if I got past these couple of drivers, I could have potentially go for second or the win, or was you just only focused on third at the end?
When Gino came out of the pits behind me, and at that point I didn't have a 3 second time penalty and he did, I thought, second could be on here. But he had such a tight. I think in the 4 laps between, or 3 laps between him and me pitting, my tyres are already on 14%. So it became pretty obvious fairly quickly that even though he come up behind me, he was going to just blast past with that tyre delta, and it obviously became more obvious when I picked up a 3 second of my own. I thought about Kian, but he was 5.5 seconds up the road. He's a rapid guy, he's probably, he hasn't quite clinched it, but he's probably going to be the champion, given tonight's results. So, I did think about maybe beating Jinner, but his tyres were so much better than mine at the end that I was happy with third.
to the championship is going down to the wire in Abu Dhabi. You've had five podiums in the last 7 races, then potentially with the championship on the line. Then you did say that Kian's rapid, then, but with the championship on the line, do you think that you might be able to gate crash the win next week with the drivers that are going to be more concerned about the championship rather than that Grand Prix win?
Yeah, absolutely. I've done Abu Dhabi. I think next week with my fourth league race in a month in Abu Dhabi. So I know Abu Dhabi in and out. I have my setup already done. I know absolutely every detail about that track from back to front. So I am gonna be like, if these guys want to be on eggshells, they got to be careful, because I am going to absolutely push it. I'd love to end the season with a win. I'm also going to be in bronze next year, so if I get that momentum started this season, it'll be fantastic.
It certainly would, and potentially you could get as high as a fifth in the I think it's sixth actually, the championship then, which I know it doesn't mean much to you personally, but as you said, going on to next season, and very similar to Nico Rosberg as well. So yeah, if another good result then, and then on to next season, then not any change between between this season and next season then. So surely you got to feel that you're in the fight for the championship.
I don't want to be cocky, because I know that cockiness can be the downfall of many people, but I won't lie, I am silently confident. I've got to the grips now with this game. When I started back in Spain, I'd done like 4 hours on this game. I wasn't used to it, the handling model, I didn't get it. I've got good setups now. I've got a fantastic engineer. I've had a great teammate this season, Steve, and we pushed each other really hard this year. So I am quietly confident. Who knows? I might rock up. Some new person might join next year and blow us all out of the water. But I am quietly confident that at the very least, I'm going to give it a good run for the money.
Jenner just said, I feel a rivalry coming on next season. And Sirius Russell also said that he ain't passing me. And finally, just to finish it off, you've already kind of touched on Kian winning the championship. Is that your pick then, going into the final race between Kian and Marsky?
I mean, they're both great drivers. Both Kian and Marsky are great drivers. Neither have been massively consistent. I mean, Keaton's obviously always been up there, so has Marsky, but they do have their off weeks. They do have their moments where they mess up. So I am going to say, Keaton's, I think, got, a 22-ish point lead, 20-odd point lead now going into next week. It's his to lose, but they've both had their off weeks. So if he has an off week and Marsky has an on week, who knows? But they're going to have to contend with me if they want to race for the win next week.
I'm glad you're paying attention, because I said it was a 5-point lead. well done today, Luke. Brilliant stuff. And a great drive indeed. Then, of course, that's Luke's 5th podium in 7 races. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then, and that's going to be it for bronze this week. So going into the final race in Abu Dhabi, then it is a showdown, winner take all. Marsky against Kian. Then, oh my word, it's going to be fantastic, isn't it? I cannot wait for that one. Then, of course. So that's it for Qatar. We're now going on to Abu Dhabi then. Tomorrow night is the 100%, then the 100% title was clinched by Equals last week. Fantastic stuff indeed. Me and Sirius Russell will be going for the 4th place in the Constructors' Championship. I cannot wait for that. We're going to get a 1-2. Then on gold on Sunday then. Everything's been wrapped up for gold on Sunday then, but as Luke said, it's all about gaining momentum for next season. Same with silver as well then. Who is going to take the mantle of Ultimate Beast then? Kiki got his first ever Grand Prix win in silver last night then, and that could be a sign of things to come for next season. And of course, bronze itself, and Luke wants to get a good run then going on into season number 9 then. But of course, unfortunately, Luke, it's going to be all about Kian against Marsky for that championship. I cannot wait. See you in a week's time for bronze. Well, actually, no, I'll see you on Sunday. But any bronze fans, I'll see you in a week's time. Goodbye.